Falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. False in one thing, false in everything. Good evening, everybody. You know what? There's a great saying by someone named George W. Bush. He said, there's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. Such a great quote. Classic, I'd say. Let's see. Hello, Eagle Plane Anchor. Hey, Bob. Feel free to come on in if you want. If you want to talk about the subject, you can. The info to join the Zoom session is in the description box on YouTube and on vim.tv or Steam it. So 18 years ago today, 9/11 happened, and well, it changed a lot of things. It changed a bit too many things that, looking back on it now, I don't think many of it was good, or if any of it was. I mean, first off, the attack wasn't good. Second off, what happened afterwards wasn't good. And you know, does the official narrative hold true 18 years later, after more and more people have looked into it? I mean, there's been a lot of people who were just wondering a couple of things and just questioning. And then, of course, just questioning it, people got attacked and ridiculed and all this other stuff. Seems like that's just the way of things. That they always seem to have it where if you disagree with something, if you question something, where it's not some official consensus or something or other, wow, it's like, what's wrong with you? I mean, can't you just trust people, especially people who tell you to do something that you don't want to do, or things like that? It's like, really? So I mean, what are you guys? I mean, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people here who are watching me probably think, 9/11, no, it didn't happen the way the official narrative said it did. And there's also things in the official narrative they don't even mention. So what's up with that? And it gets to be very, very weird topic, because just like either the NASA moon hoax or the globe Earth hoax or anything like that, 9/11 is something where it's been flooded with, I guess, controlled opposition, and just a lot of people who are in it to look at it a certain way. And whether if it's true or not, they're just going down that path of, hey, look, Flat Earth Society. Hey, look, there's this conspiracy theory website, and look at all these photos and pictures, and you don't even really have to go there. And the reason why I like to do what I like to do is I just look at the official narrative. Falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. That means false in one thing, false in everything. So if you've got someone saying, or something, or some entity or organization or whatever, making an official statement and probably making a whole bunch of statements, official statements, and there's just one official part, one statement in that official statement of statements, whatever, that's wrong, you kind of have to discount the entire thing. I mean, and then maybe not just one, right? If there's just one thing, you're going to say, okay, that's just one mistake. And then you see two mistakes. It's like, look, two, say, out of 5 statements. 2 out of 5 statements, it's still more valid than not valid. And all of a sudden, oh boy, there's the third statement that's false. It's like, okay, 3 out of 5 now. We got problems here. So it's that whole methodology that is pretty accurate, I would say. And then when it's all wrong, you're gonna have to discount the whole thing. But of course, there's indicators, and that's all I look for. If there's enough indicators there to point that the official story is wrong or false, then that's all that really matters. You don't really need to know the truth. You just know the truth of the lie. And someone's lying, well, you can't trust everything from that statement, from the person that has lied before, has lied about the topic that you're looking into. And what's the point of believing in a lie or a liar? You're not going to get the truth from it. Hi, Shirley Vic, how's it going? Yeah, Bob, you don't buy the story, but you don't have the answers. You don't need the answers. You just need to know that someone lied, or if they didn't lie, they just made a mistake. But within the mistake that people are seeing, do we get like an official statement on the mistake? We don't see that. You look at some things that people point out is like, look, they did the 9/11 Commission report. I mean, everything's there. There's no mistakes. They don't even do that. They just write it out, expose it, let it go to the public, and people find problems. People find problems. They don't double back on it. They're pretty much all in. They can't admit they're wrong. If they admit they're wrong, then there's incompetence. You're just admitting incompetence to everybody in the public. They don't want to do that. But if you just don't say anything, no one's going to look at it and bat an eye. At least the majority of the people. I mean, you've got a decent amount of people that are starting to question the official narrative of 9/11, and but they don't really care about that. All they know is that, hey, within time, all it takes is generation. Once the generation dies out, no one's going to know exactly what happened. I mean, 18 years. Can you believe it? That means someone who's born on 9/11 in 2001 is now 18. They're officially an adult, at least in the United States. And they're born on that day. They don't have any idea what happened that day as far as witnessing what was going on, whether they were in New York City at that time or I guess the Pentagon too, or just watching it live on the mainstream media channels, and then just growing up with people looking into it and sharing their thoughts on 9/11 and what seems to be kind of weird. All right. Let's see. Claude Alley, how's it going? Goes, I will never trust the government ever until they come clean on 9/11. I realize that if they came clean, then it's not going to help victims, or is it? I don't know. Dragon Tail Tarot. Hey, Ariel, how's it going? Great to see you too. You guys can come on in, just say hi. You guys don't have to just say hi in chat either. Claude Alley said, but I think most people don't care, so they only know what they've been told to think. Yeah. Eagle Plane and Anchor, they definitely don't know about Building 7. Yeah, Building 7, I think, wasn't in the 9/11 Commission report, but in the University of Alaska that they recently, I think within 2 weeks, released a statement saying that the World Trade Center 7, no, not World Trade Center 7, sorry, Building 7 couldn't have fallen or collapsed due to fire. That was, I guess, the official statement about Building 7 collapsing, but it wasn't in the 9/11 Commission report. All right, let's see. Shirley Vick, here's a link to the news conference today in Washington from AE 9/11, The Truth. Take a look at that. Ah, shoot. Give me a second here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Give me a second. I mean, what I would love is to see if there's anybody that watches that just happens to stop on by, if they think everything that happened, the way that the official narrative said it happened. I mean, I just like to talk. I mean, I think it'd be great. Let's see.
Any questions?
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, let's move it on over. Alt B. All right, first responders. This is AE 9/11 Truth. Oh, interesting. At least 50,000 people were looking at that. I'm not going to play it back. It's an hour long. Link is in there for Shirley Vick. At least the description box, it says, first responders urge. Yeah, I'll go ahead and zoom it up really close. Urge 9/11 investigation, September 11, 2019 press conference on the 18th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. 9/11 first responder Christopher Gioia, I don't know if I'm saying that right. The commissioner of the Franklin Square and Munson Fire District in New York will announce the launch of the Justice for 9/11 Heroes campaign at a news conference to be held at the National Press Club at 10 a.m. In July, Commissioner Gioia, I'm just going to say the commissioner, and the other 4 commissioners of the fire district unanimously approved a resolution calling for a new investigation into September 11th attacks. 2 of the other commissioners are suffering chronic health effects from working at Ground Zero, and one of the department's members, Thomas J. Hetzel, who is also a member of the FDNY, was killed in the line of duty that day. So, okay, that's pretty good. I mean, so much time has passed, so much of the evidence that could have been used, not available anymore. So I don't know what they're gonna base it off of. I mean, it's basically, you'd have to look into the official narrative and just break it down one by one, and that's what people have done already. It's been 18 years. People have looked into it, and I would say if there was a poll that just some, like, I don't know how we would do a poll. Some big channel, if they had a poll, like I know that there's a couple of big channels that do something on 9/11, and they have anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million viewers. If they had a poll and everyone on YouTube just kind of checked whether they believe the official narrative or not, I would say a lot of people don't really believe the official narrative. Bob Remersma. Weren't there some gold vaults involved? Ever noticed that they've never took a poll to see who thinks what? Yeah, Claude Alley. We're thinking along the same lines. Shirley Vick, I will call in when I finish the dishes in a few. Watching this made me sick to my stomach. The U.S. overseas harming people every day, and they do it different false flags. They have evidence from the dust, I think, is called thermite. I always seem to go with this. Let me show you. I mean, it's not an original idea. I think I've heard either officials say or mainstream media say that there's no way they could have anticipated that this was this could have happened. I mean, I guess they didn't look into their own unclassified or classified top secret memorandums. So there's a thing called Operation Northwoods, and you could look this up. It was a proposed false flag operation against the Cuban government that originated within the U.S. Department of Defense and the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States in 1962. The proposal called for the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, or other U.S. government operatives to commit acts of terrorism against American civilians and military targets, blaming them on the Cuban government and using it to justify a war against Cuba. The possibilities detailed in the document included the possible assassination of Cuban emigres, sinking boats of Cuban refugees of the high seas, hijacking planes, blowing up a U.S. ship. And this one doesn't really go into it very much, but it's hijacking planes and crashing them into buildings. Operation Northwoods download. I need to do the download here. How about FOIA? And this is from NSA archive. .gwu.edu. Let's see. Here we go. and it's unclassified. There was a FOIA request, so you can actually look at it. Oh, it can be hard to see some of it, huh? So the idea that no one could have imagined is that 18, or is it 19? I think it was 19. 19 terrorists who learned how to fly Cessnas with box cutters could take over a plane. Not just one plane, but 4 planes. And none of the planes would have a hijacking squawk. I think there's a 4-digit code. Was it 2500? If you're being hijacked, 2500. That way we know about it. And not one of those 4 planes ever did that. Those terrorists with box colors were just tremendous at holding back. I mean, look, if there's let's say there was 18 terrorists and 4 planes each. That means there's like on 2 planes there's 5 terrorists each, and on the other 2 planes there's 4, something like that. And each of those would be able to fight off 90 people who just kind of figured they're doomed, except only they say 1 plane fought back, but they're able to fight back 90 people on a plane with box cutters. And I'm pretty sure some people on the plane are military or ex-military or armed officers like that aren't on duty or something. I'd hazard a guess 10% of the plane people on the plane knew unarmed combat or armed combat, and that's still like 9 people, still twice as many as there would be terrorists there with box cutters. And basically the pilots, they just go, okay, here, take over the plane. But I doubt that. They'd probably, they figure if they can if they're getting taken over by terrorists, they're probably gonna want to fight because they know their lives are in danger at that point. All that they see is box cutters. Like, hey, I can handle this. So I'd say 2 terrorists would have to be in there. So realistically, there's 2 or 3 terrorists that are holding back 9 people. With those, they have box cutters. They're holding back 9 people who know how to fight, and then there's probably the other 80 people or so that don't know how to fight. That they probably try to do the same thing, just pile up on top and do all that stuff. Like, I know I would be the first up there if someone was out there and saying, we're taking over the plane and we've got box cutters, so don't even try. Box cutters. All right. Yeah. Kind of ridiculous. And let's see. Oh yeah, I got off topic. Just looking through it. Mostly so you guys can look at it yourself. I shouldn't even have to read this to you. It's like, if you don't know about Operation Northwoods, then you've got a lot of catching up to do. I'm sorry. You got a lot of catching up to do. And I know a lot of people don't know about Operation Northwoods. People don't know a lot about these so-called conspiracy theories. They're actually conspiracies that they're admitted to. There's plenty out there that the U.S. government alone admitted to. And people still say, well, government would never do that. Oh, they didn't do that. That's conspiracy theory. No, it's an actual conspiracy because they actually admitted to doing that. All right, let's go read some chat. Hi, Kathy B. How's it going? No radars and no cameras. Yeah. Just moseyed on, and must have been time and chance. Shirley Vicky, you're welcome. There's no way they could have flown those commercial planes. Brandon was the one that gave those Saudi passports, and he's on the MSNBC payroll as an analyst. Kathy B, that was Flight 93. There's a lot about that plane that doesn't make any sense. There was nothing left but a small indentation. Hi, Jinho Choi. You're right upon. Kathy B, I'm okay. Thanks. I should look up and see what the polls are. If anyone has done a poll. I bet mainstream media does a poll and it's not looking, probably wouldn't be very accurate, but who knows? We could be surprised. Oh, Jinhoi Choi, my favorite bit of 9/11 is, hi mom, this is your son Mark Bingham. Is that the one that they make a cell phone call on the plane or something? I just know that I remember hearing a story that there was a person that made a phone call from the plane. And then if you watch some of the videos and certain people talking, I know, London Real, or London Real, I don't know. He did a interview with David Icke today, or released the interview today, and he was talking about what he was doing. And he was saying, yeah, my cell phone lost reception and all this other stuff. So, heck, he's out here on the ground, and cell phone calls, he could even make it. He admits to that. And a lot of people, I'd say, would probably confirm it. But then back in 2001, someone made a phone call from the plane. Yeah, it's just a little weird, Eagle Plane Acre. I have the clip of the documentary that came out just before 9/11 about the towers designed to withstand the impact of several big jumbo jets. If you want to link, yeah. I mean, I think I've already watched it. There's a lot I remember watching. There was a weird video that was about the day before 9/11 and about how there are artists using that building. And I thought that was a weird video. I remember watching it. That was maybe that 2004 or something when I watched that video. It was weird. Kathy B, my friend, lived right next to the site. No bodies. Which site? All right. Let's go to. Only believe. Let's see. Mintpress News did one 17 hours ago. Of course, they do like a. I mean, I would agree. A lot more people are questioning. Yeah. And yeah, that's the way I like the approach. Mintpress News, give them a little bit of credit. Whitney Webb. Yeah, I know who that is. All you have to do is question the official narrative. That's it. I mean, all you have to do is find one thing wrong, maybe two things wrong. Oh, why isn't? Huh. Odd. Sorry, I don't know why that the invitation wasn't working. It should be working. And let's see, I should get rid of that. There you go. That way you guys don't have to see that. Give me a second here. This is the Zoom meeting. And here's the call-in numbers. Okay, that should just be it. Oh, I think I saw a video where there's like the dust clouds from the blast or something that came in from someone was filming in a building. I remember that, but yeah, I'm gonna have to look into Whitney Webb a lot more. Pretty interesting. She's got the same idea, which is pretty easy. Is just look at the official narrative, and if there's anything about the official narrative that doesn't hold true, then well, you gotta question the entire thing. And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's just journalism. That's just searching for the truth. And of course, CIA, of course, they admit to it. And there's videos out there. It's ex-CIA members admitting that CIA created the entire idea of conspiracy theory back with the JFK assassination. That's ex-CIA saying that. It's not just ordinary conspiracy theorists in basements like me saying it. I'm just showing you exactly what they're saying. That's all I care about. That's all I need to present. This is the official narrative. This is the official story. This is what they said. I'm not saying anything. I'm just showing you what they said. So, what do you think about that? Are you going to question it yet? No, I'm just waiting for you to question it. That's it. People who are watching, and they're going, no, you can't question it. I love the Richard Feynman quote. The quote is, I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. Very good quote by Richard Feynman, one of my favorite theoretical physicists while growing up. I was big into science. I was big into all of that stuff. I still am. I enjoy it. It's fun, I guess. I mean, a lot of it is lies. If you do science right, man, it works great. If you don't, well, it's just like anything else out there. It's just one big story. The meeting ID, it's there in that Zoom. Sorry. Meeting ID. Yeah, I was kind of in a hurry and I forgot something, so something weird is happening with the YouTube. Usually they would still show it. Huh, I don't know. Oh, I accidentally pressed Alt-O instead of Alt-0. Sorry. I wanted to read the chat and I pushed the wrong hotkey. Wow, I am making a lot of mistakes. Oh, just like the 9/11 official story. Oh, wait. Oops. Did I say that out loud? All right. Shirley Vic. The first day I saw those windows. Okay. I'll just let you say it there, Shirley. How you doing, Shirley?
I finally got through. I'm finding yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why the YouTube didn't pick up the because my description box, I usually have that and it usually keeps everything, so looks like I'm gonna have to edit it, huh? Give me a second, I'll edit. Go ahead.
I think everybody should watch that video, that link I gave.
Okay.
It made me sick to my stomach to hear. And one guy, the fire dude, he got really emotional because he was explaining a story about someone from the battalion experience.
Yeah.
And he got up to 78 floors. And they said, oh, it's just a couple of fires. I just need 2 hoses. And I put them out. The building collapsed. And he got emotional because, you heard tears. He was holding back the tears. And it still bothers him today.
Yeah.
And then the father of one of the ones, I don't know if the guy was the firefighter or police officer. He said, my son died before any of those planes went through either of them buildings. So you're going to tell me who killed my son, who murdered him? I want to know. And he said, I don't want to hear it was Muslims either. We went to a Muslim country and killed millions of Muslims. That didn't have nothing to do with this. He is livid. I remember seeing his interview years ago. That man, I'm like, man, he's still kicking. He tried to solve his son's murder. Because all them people were murdered in that building.
Yeah.
And it was dancing Israelis. Remember when Trump said there was Muslims dancing that day?
Yeah, I remember hearing something like that.
Well, honestly, they were really Israeli citizens dancing that day. And in that area, this girl, what's that? Mintpress. It's this chick.
Whitney Webb?
She does Mintpress. Yeah. She did a story about that, about the dancing Israelis and this apartment complex and the people. They was up cheering, this is great for America. This is what Israel likes. And I'm like, well, maybe Israel got something to do with this, too.
I see. Yeah, it's by Whitney Webb. I'll add that into the link.
She has done some very good reporting, even on Epstein case. She is good. She's young.
Yeah.
Yep, and she said they were questioned by the FBI and the guys that in that news conference today. They even had photo of them, and in their documents they call them terrorists, but they say they can't find them. They got destroyed because they did a FOIA request to get those photos.
Yeah. Give me a second here. Keep talking. I like listening to you. If you did your own show, surely I'd be watching. I'm just trying to update. With some links here.
It's just crazy. Now I know why my aunt used to always call the U.S. United Snakes of America. That's what she called them. And they did 9/11, and then wait a minute. One of Bush's relatives, he had a guard company with the guard dogs. They took them dogs away. The bomb sniffing dogs took them dogs away 5 days before that incident happened.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And that one man he lost his son in that building. He said, I don't know what kind of leader I said. He said, if I was near her, I would have slapped her in her damn face. Now more people start waking up because they keep going with that narrative. Mainstream media is still pushing that BS. Oh, the terrorists just flew the planes through. But I don't think they were terrorists. And like the man said, they used the planes to deflect from the bombs going off in those buildings. Because in their 9/11 commission report, they didn't even have in there about the firefighters, the recording of them saying bombs going off.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just reading the chat. Chat's good. I mean, this is weird. Like, of all the things that I cover, this is the one thing that all of you watching pretty much agree on. It's like, yeah, I don't accept the official narrative of 9/11.
I didn't accept it the first day. When I saw them buildings go there, I said, hey, that looks like how they take down the projects in this old Sears building by me. That was a professional demolition.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm not a construction worker. My grandfather worked construction, but I was never on his site. But I'm from seeing, they really think American people are stupid.
Oh, man.
That's why Giuliani came out today to my it was Iran and Venezuela involved in 9/11. Yeah, you got paid from that too. He was this group called MEK.
Mm-hmm.
I watch Lee Strahan. Him and the Garland Nix, they have a show on Fault Lines, but he be doing his own YouTube channel, Lee Strahan, and he tied him and I think it was Bolton or Pompeo with this MEK group, and I forgot what country they were from. I'm just getting so much information, I can't remember things. I just have to go back to the video and watch it and catch it. But Giuliani got paid from this group. Because I think Giuliani sent one of his top firemen in that building. He knew what the hell was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, so did this one fella who was leasing the World Trade Center, I think. I forget his name. Silverstein, yeah. And
yeah, I saw, because somebody showed a clip of him at the end. They made his voice sound really scary.
And what ended up happening is, like, he just went overboard on insurance and on terrorist insurance, and he made a big payday.
You murdered Americans and foreigners in that goddamn building.
Yeah.
And my son heard me talk. He said, man, this country is just corrupt. I said, yeah, it is. It is. It's greed. Greed. And who stole the gold several days before the incident happened too? They stole gold from out of there.
So, give me a second here. Just sharing the screen. And first one, of course, they're going to list Snopes, where they do their fact checking.
Oh, God, they're a joke.
Yeah, they are. But even they won't outright say no that he didn't.
Didn't he run a porn business or something? The owner?
I don't know.
I think he did. He was involved in something like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter as far as like in regards to this. Looks like so New York Times read an article back in March 27, 2008. Larry A. Silverstein was worth nearly $4.6 billion in insurance payments. Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think they wanted to rebuild those buildings.
Yeah.
You can't tell me. I saw the documentary of that building being built, and they said this will withstand a plane going through and fire.
Oh, well, okay. I'm looking at this article. Like I haven't really paid attention to 9/11 just because it's like official narrative didn't add up in the first place, so it's like whatever. So New York Times, and of course I don't read the New York Times, but this is back in March 27, 2008 by Nimona Hartokalas from New York Times. Developer sues to win $12.3 billion in 9/11 attack. So just the first paragraph says, Larry A. Silverstein, who has won nearly $4.6 billion in insurance payments to cover his losses and help him rebuild at the World Trade Center site, is seeking $12.3 billion in damages from airlines and airport security companies for the 9/11 attack. So not only is he going to gain at least double his money, he's going to try to get 3 times that by suing. Wow. And that's he's suing the airlines and airport security companies. So yeah, talk about greed.
Yeah, you killing people on greed. They doing what they doing to them overseas in the Middle East is what they doing over here, but they do it different. They don't bomb us every day, but you get situations like 9/11. I believe the Oklahoma City bombing too. And that's a damn shame because there was a daycare in that government building. I'll never forget that picture of that firefighter carrying that toddler out of that building. I think the photographer won an award for that picture. I think they had some paperwork in there that somebody in the government wanted.
Yeah. There was I remember watching I think I even did an episode on it, that there was someone who was did a did a just kind of analysis of 9/11, that it could have been directed cold energy weapons. I think it's called Judy Wood, Dr. Judy Wood. And
yeah, they discounted her theories too. She's good.
Yeah, architects and engineers for 9/11 truth. They debunked that, and
yep.
I mean, look at that and see what they say. This is way back in 2011.
And you know how much they gave the 9/11 Commission to do that thing? $3 million to do research and 18 months to finish it. And at the end they said, we couldn't get enough information or time to find out what really happened on 9/11. But they spent 25 mil on this fake Russia investigation.
Yeah.
And they spent more on the space than what the Challenger, like 60 or 70 million.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. That was the biggest event ever that happened in this country.
Yeah. And what was it, $2.3 trillion that was missing from the Pentagon? You know, that was reported the day before.
And I don't believe no plane could fly through there either. They probably had bombs set up in certain sections of that damn Pentagon.
Yeah. No pictures, no real good pictures or security camera, probably the most heavily guarded place in America.
Yeah. They ain't heavily guarded after 9/11.
Yeah.
They ain't making a crime scene or anything. Took the steel away because the steel would have had the bomb residue, but it still had it in the dust.
Yeah. And the Pentagon one, isn't that the one where they say that it crashed into like the accounting division or something like that?
Yeah, whatever. Just so happenly.
It's coincidence.
They think people are idiots. Well, some Americans are stupid because they keep watching mainstream media, but a lot of Americans are not stupid.
But it's just so hilarious.
So convenient. It just happened to go into the accounting department.
I mean, it's like they hire fifth graders to make up these excuses. It's like, seriously. It's like they got the ideas for all these excuses from like all the students who came up with excuses why they didn't bring in their homework. My dog ate it. It's like, why are you guys hiring those guys to make up your stories? Oh my goodness. It just cracks me up.
Yeah, but I like that thing. They call that it's called the show. The thing is called Loose Change because they came out because I had saved the video, but they took it down. But then I clicked on it. Something else looking forward tonight, and it opened up, and they made a movie out of it about 9/11. Because their website is called their YouTube page is called We Are Change.
Oh yeah.
They be traveling over in different countries and stuff, and they be like calling them a terrorist. They're terrorists. YouTube page. No, they're not. They just going around getting the truth. They got arrested when they went over to Bilderberg because you're not supposed to show pictures of them people meeting at that police.
I like typing in YouTube, just their search engine and seeing what I get. Like I'll type in 9/11 false flag, and I'll get mainstream media. I get CNN, French 24, Purdue University, 60 Minutes, Smithsonian Channel.
CNN is the one put in charge to check out fake news, so that's why they popping up.
Yeah, I mean that's
a lot of nerve.
Yeah, I mean, we know they've been doing this for a long time, especially flat earthers. Flat earthers are lumped in with the 9/11 truthers. Even 9/11 truthers wouldn't even look into the globe Earth, but they get the same treatment as the flat earthers. I think it's pretty funny. It kind of makes you think, though, if you're not looking at the official narrative of the globe Earth, that they're using the same tactics to prevent people from being seen, as far as just with the.
Oh, you know what, too, Evan?
Okay.
Instead of being on Google searching for something, I'll go find something like whistleblowers. They'll have the site up like John Kariuki.
Yeah.
I find them on Google and click the link. it won't. This not supported by so and so. So I have to go to Firefox and I get it
Uh,
and save this site.
yeah, I've been noticing something weird with my smartphone. Like if I'll get an email notification of a YouTube videos, and then if I click on the link, it doesn't pop up on YouTube anymore. So I have to actually type in on my YouTube app on my smartphone, and it just a channel name, and then from that channel name, I'll just click on the video that they just uploaded or live streamed, and so it's I don't know if it's just me, but I doubt it.
No, it ain't just you. No, it's not just you, because I say a lot of stuff over Firefox. And I'm like, damn. And my husband's like, really? I'm like, yeah, certain things you want to find out the truth, it'll pop up, but if you click on the link of the person or whatever you want to look at, it said, oh, it doesn't support this, I forgot what it said, it doesn't support so-and-so. I'm like, that's a bunch of BS. You got the whole list of what this person is and different things on their website and stuff, but we can't get to it.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to resort to having everyone just have their own websites again, and having portals to other sites and videos, and just have those videos that have been around uploaded on blockchains and stuff like that. And we're going to notice probably in the future that the blockchains are going to have pressure on them to remove those videos. Although I'll bet you that some of those videos, like there's even videos on YouTube where it's like easily weird pedo videos, and they're cartoons.
They stay on there.
They still on there. Yeah. They'll have like really violent, beheadings and things like that. Hey, mainstream media plays those beheadings. Gross stuff like that. They'll stay on. But when you're just talking about a subject, nope, it's gone. Real pictures, real videos of what happened on a certain day.
Or they ban you from YouTube.
Yeah. So, what a weird 1984 world we're living in.
Yeah. And like I said, my grandmother had this book called The Survivor Book, and everything that was in that book, and that was from, I don't know if it was from the late 60s and early 70s. It had everything in there. It was scary. Putting chips in you and different diseases that were coming out, the computers, because there really wasn't many computers. I don't think computers were out back then. But I'm like, darn. And I wish my grandmother never lumped out that book. I would have loved to have it.
Well, one of the other things that I look at within search results, even though I don't really go by the search results all too much, is I'll look at the view count. Like I'll see if it's a mainstream media place, and I'll just skip it. And then I'll look and see, all right, there's a video that has like, a few hundred to a few thousand views, but it's talking about something totally different, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna click on that one, which is the exact opposite of what ordinary people do, or like the mass, with the people who don't look into things. They'll click on the mainstream media. They'll look at something. There's a YouTube video here called YouTuber called Real Stories, and it's got 9.2 million views, and the title is Tale of Flight 93 9/11 documentary Real Stories. I just know I'm not going to find anything in there, but most people, they're going to look at the view count and saying, hey, this person or this channel has a lot of views, so they probably got the truth or something like that. So it's weird how everything's just kind of flipped around now, because I used to do the same thing. I used to look at search results and look at what had the most views, and it's like, hey, this has the most views, so it must be more credible than the others who has less. But now it's like, no. I think if they got that many views and stuff like that, there's something to it. So what I do is I look at the videos and go, hey, this person doesn't seem like they care about anything except just letting the information out there. And I'll click on that rather than something that has tries to add a spin to it or a narrative to it,
Right.
Man. Do you think the government or mainstream media will ever talk?
I don't know, but them guys at that news conference, they met with they said they was meeting with 2 people in Congress. But damn, you don't know who to trust down there.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if they'll ever go back on and saying, yeah, this was wrong, but that was it. Here's the correction, to the 9/11 Commission or whatever.
I don't know, because Barack Obama signed that NDAA, and they could give us propaganda.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So they don't even have to do that.
Nope.
I mean,
telling you that they like he signed that in. My husband's like he signed that in. I said, yeah, you don't follow it. I can't, because he always said, I just can't understand how you can't stand him. I'm like, you remember I used to love that man. Now I hate him. He can need to go to prison just like Bush, Cheney, Woolsey, and Rumsfeld. All of them.
Yeah.
Because I just remember when Bush was at that school when 9/11 happened. They came up and looked at him. He had this look like, oh, boy, it really happened. That's the look he had on his face. Like they knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, I love playing that video. This is George W. Bush, I'm telling you. That guy.
Now, my favorite video when he was over, where was he at, in Iraq or Afghanistan? That man threw that shoe at him. I was cracking up. I still got that damn video. I go back and look at it and crack up. It was too funny. That man got prison time for that, too.
Mr. Card, I want to talk to you.
I want to. Alright, here we go. Oh, they don't have it. I think they had it in a documentary, like the full thing. He just keeps sitting there and just
got that dumb look on his face.
Yeah. Oh man, they don't even have that on YouTube. Gosh, what was that book they was reading? Like My Pet Goat, and it was upside down too. I remember that. He's reading it upside down.
His video was upside down.
No, the book.
Yeah, because he supposed to been reading. I'm like, it's upside down. Yeah, I was like, they knew this shit was planned. They knew it was planned.
Yeah. When does the advisor come and whisper in his ear? I think I think they told him at this point. It's hard to tell. But, man, let me fast forward it a bit.
Well, if he's being told right now, he doesn't look angry. All of them got a cut part of their gold and whatever money they found in that damn building.
I think I'm trying to find the full video. It was longer than 6 minutes. It was like some weird, 15 minutes or so. It was like a uncomfortably long time that he just sat there.
I'll never forget, I was at work that day. We was in a big conference room looking at that crap on TV. I said, well, what the hell is going on? And they let us out early. I got home. Because that's when they said the plane was coming to Pennsylvania. I'm like, what? They let us out early, and I got home and like about not long ago. I'm like, damn, those towers just to see the people jumping out the building. And like they said, some of them said the people that was standing on the ground, they were still alive. Some
Yeah.
of them were actually still alive. Because all you saw was a bunch of smoke. You saw just a little flame, and that wasn't from no plane. I knew it wasn't from no plane. I saw them towers go down like that, and then 7, ain't no plane go through 7. And that's what started them people with that investigation. You gotta use your fucking common sense, and the government's not using their common sense. All they looking at is dollar signs. It's like the American people is just expendable. And that's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it has to be changed through the kids. Unfortunately, it seems like it's gonna be tough.
These be out like that people in France.
Yeah.
Because from the Depression, they got the people got FDR scared, and that's when we created Social Security. Gotta get out there on the streets. In other countries, they be out there protesting like crazy. They can have a president step down. I'm like, damn, what is wrong with this country?
National Geographic isn't gonna show that. What am I thinking? It's not looking good, is it?
No, it's not.
What does your husband and your kids think about 9/11?
Well, my husband even said when he saw the buildings go there, he said that don't look right. That look like how they take down the project. I said, yeah, to get rid of it. But he still don't. He still watch mainstream news.
Yeah.
But he don't watch it. Watching that, he may turn to him like, why? And he come telling me, sure, look what they say. I'm like, don't tell me anything they're telling you on that fucking TV, because they ain't telling you the truth. I don't want to hear what mainstream media got to say at all. You remember Crystal Ball?
Mm-hmm. Crystal with
she's
the K.
on the. Yeah, she's on the Hill now. She had a YouTube show on the Hill.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how she did when Hillary was running, and she did a nice little speech talking about it's not your time now. It's not your time. We got income inequality and other stuff, and she said it's not your time to run. So her boss called in the office and said, you did a good job on that story, but from now on we're getting heat from the Clinton campaign. We're gonna have to edit. The president gonna have to edit your stuff before you go out and read it on air.
Hey Bob, how's it going?
Excellent.
Hi, Bob.
I didn't catch it yesterday. I'm kind of pissed, but I'm here now. So
yeah, I'll just have it. I'll just have it on Wednesdays, and then you'll show up on Mondays.
Yeah, just whatever day you have it, I'll be like 2 days late. That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, that works.
Anyway.
Well, I'm gonna do more pointed topics on fishing, just because there's just a lot to talk about with once you become a fisherman, you really study fishing and the fish. Just so many things that are wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's where I'm going with it.
I like that. Sounds good.
So, what do you think?
Why?
9/11.
I'm sorry.
Do you agree with the official narrative? What are your
No.
thoughts?
God, no. Jesus Christ. My things, I can't get this to change. Why? There we go. Multi-view. That's what I wanted. And sideways. No, I don't know if that's going to work. My setup's kind of rigged tonight, so I apologize.
No worries.
Anyways, no,
Sure.
9/11. Oh, it's today's September 11th, isn't it? Wow. Oh, it was.
Well,
Oh,
yesterday.
God, I'm sorry. It's been like 20 years. I mean,
18. Oh my goodness, you can't even do math.
yeah, whatever. Close enough. We're rounding. I'm drinking. We're rounding.
And you doing to show how much our country is capitalist country. They charge you money to go in that building, and it's not cheap.
I can't. Of course they do. Of course they do.
$65.
Oh my God! They have to maintain it though. They couldn't possibly use like public taxpayer funds or anything like that to maintain a national monument or anything like that. You know.
When Deb Delciata did a video on that tonight, she said, "Oh, here's this capitalist country. They charge her money." She said, "I wouldn't even go visit that
real.
piece of shit. I wouldn't even go visit. I don't want to be in there because there's spirits flying around that joint. I'm serious.
That's spitting in the eye of everybody that died in that.
Yeah.
That horrific. It was bad. Like, you know, like that's. I don't understand people that like. If you question 9/11, like you're some kind of America hater or something. Like, no. Hold up now. Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah. It's gonna be more common. I mean, it's been that way for a long while now. For conspiracy theories and things like that. Anytime you're getting close to something that they don't want people to question, all of a sudden, you just get
some attack gonna happen since that report came out yesterday, and that news conference. Something's gonna happen.
I don't know. Just building 7. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
That was your smoking gun?
Yeah, man. Like, no shit happened to that. It caught on fire. No skyscraper that catches on fire is gonna fucking fall down. I don't give a shit what happens.
And then didn't even catch on fire.
Falling down. Well, that's even if they said that's what happened. I mean, I don't. You know, let's go with like what they said happened. It's still not gonna happen. So.
Well, I know that black guy that was in that building. They were saying he was in the towers. He said, "No, I was in 7. I think he was the head of something in housing, and he was in that building 7. And he said in that substation downstairs where what's that? Crisis management was down there or something. He heard bombs go off."
Yeah, that's what that's all like reports that people that are like been down the street said they heard explosions. People said they standing next to the building said they heard explosions. People inside the building said they heard explosions. So, you know, I'm going to assume that there were no explosions, you know, like everyone else. No, I mean, dude, like I want to be a sheeple. I do. I can't like I mean, I don't understand how these people can like go through life and just be like, "Oh yeah, that's the way it went." Okay, like
I don't know how they sleep at night.
No, well, if there was one crazy asshole that looked like me, you know, Vermin Supreme standing on the corner when this happened. If he was the one guy saying that this shit was fucked up, I'd be like, "Yeah, you're crazy." But it's not. It's not that. Like, there's reputable people that said this is fucked up, and I'm gonna believe that because there's a lot of people that aren't reputable saying it's not fucked up. So, you know. That's the way I look at life. It's worked pretty well so far. So.
And just think, they put in that Patriot Act to take away our First Amendment right.
Well, yeah, that was. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus! Don't even get started with all the like stuff that happened after this. Oh God.
it's a long list. It's a long list.
Dude, I was 18 years old when that happened, and like, I was like, all of a sudden I could like fly around freely in the United States, and then like you basically needed a passport. And I was like, oh, dude, it's so crazy. Like my before high school and after high school life was so fucked up because of 9/11. I mean, not that everyone else's wasn't. I mean, obviously, but you know, just that transition, just that it was like right there for me. Like it was basically like my childhood was cool, and then 9/11 fucked it all up, basically.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, you know.
Yeah,
we all got problems.
I was 22 at that time, and yeah, a lot of people in the Navy at that time were around 18 to 22, and.
Oh wow, you're already in the military at the time?
Oh yeah, I was on the.
I didn't know that.
I was in the USS Carl Vinson. I was going over towards the Persian Gulf to drop bombs on Iraq before the Iraqi war started. You know.
Right, because they were the ones that attacked us on 9/11.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you different. That's what happened. I swear to God. The Iraqis with their weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was Saddam. He was coming for us. And we had to take him out. It was imperative.
And they know he ain't have no weapons after the Gulf War.
No, we gave him weapons. The only weapons he had were the ones we gave him.
Yeah, and they were expired. The chemical weapons that we gave him were supposedly expired too.
He was just I think with the Kurd thing, he was just fucking around. He was just like, I don't think these things still work, and he shot one off. He's like, oh fuck. You know, that's no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like, you know. God, I'm totally fucking up your shit. Sorry, you.
I don't care.
No, you're not.
It's not controversial, was it? I mean, I'm not serious.
No, you have to laugh.
If you can't joke about
comedy.
Right. There's nothing. If you can't joke about something,
I don't get offended
I'm not
like
down.
that. I don't get offended. Like they want to shut
full South Park, you know.
What my wife says is, and when I ask her when she laughs is like, why are you laughing? She's like, well, that's all I can do, right?
Dude,
yeah, you need laughter.
I'm gonna say something really controversial right now. Like I was on the Facebook today, and I'm in some like questionable groups. We'll say questionable at best. And I saw a post about the unfortunate events on this day. What was it, 18 years ago? 18?
Yeah.
And it was a picture of Osama bin Laden. It said, I rate this post 9 out of 11. And I laughed. I mean, you know.
That is horrible.
Right. It is. And that's
the point of that joke, though.
Exactly. See, thank you, Ebon.
No problem.
Dude, black humor has a place, man.
Hey, that's really racist. That's racist. I won't allow that, Bob.
But good one. That was excellent. I can't believe there aren't fucking thousands of people watching this right now. To be honest with you, this is great stuff right here. This is great. No, seriously though, this is good conversation. Stuff like this needs to be said.
And Osama bin Laden, how do you like his death and his videos that he kept releasing? And then
what?
The journalist, remember the journalist was able to find him and interview him? But
you know what? Well, that's so, dude. The Taliban, like right after 9/11, the Taliban was like, hey, U.S. government, if you give us like 20 grand, we'll tell you where Osama bin Laden is. And the U.S. government was like, we'll pass. Literally, that happened. Look that up. That shit happened. Like it was like a paltry sum of money they asked for us, and they would have given us.
I remember that
right then.
I didn't remember that. That's
we
funny.
declined that.
What was crazy, the U.S.
My Republican dad told me that shit. And I looked it up, and it's true. It was true. They offered to fucking give him up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know.
Oh
that's
my
why
goodness!
Like, I don't even know if the Taliban's the enemy.
It's yeah. I mean, The Guardian has it. Washington Post has it.
See,
CNN has it.
Boom.
I mean, wow. It's like because that's what people.
I might be drunk, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah, that's what people with the ordinary people who have their blinders on going through life.
Well, they don't care about that. We'll ignore that story.
Well, they'll look at Washington Post and go, "Oh, obviously MSM wouldn't lie," but then you're gonna have to ask, like, why would Bush reject the offer?
You just quoted who had all the? It was who? Guardian,
Washington Post, CNN,
Washington Post, CNN. See, like what? Why?
New York Times also had it.
Well, now the Washington Post.
Like, if it was just like the Intercept,
Yeah.
okay, I could see how it would get. Some people could miss it. Most people would miss it. Or if it was just like if it was just on RT, yeah, okay. But no, dude, that shit was widely it was mainstream news, and nobody gave a shit. See, that's why nobody gives a fuck, man.
And I remember when Bush said, "I've been stopped looking for Osama." I remember he said that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for him. Like, what?
No, it wasn't their concern at the time.
Yeah.
For some reason.
That's because he really wasn't involved.
I mean, I don't know if I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go that far.
No, I don't know, but I know what group did it.
He's Saudi. A lot of them were Saudis. I mean,
well, isn't it strange how Israel and Saudi are good neighbors?
What of neighbors? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they're good friends.
Of who? Of the Taliban?
Not the well, I don't know. They when the terrorists get injured, Israel let them go to their houses, get them back there fighting again.
Well, that's Israel. That's you don't. I don't want to talk about that right now. I can't do that.
Yeah,
we're mixing too much. I've had too much to drink to bring that into the mix now. No, I mean. Where are we at?
Oh, well, Osama bin Laden. What about his death and giving him that burial at sea?
Is he dead? No, I mean, that's Who?
They desecrated his religion. They get buried in a pine box.
It wasn't even him. He's a rich Arab. He's living in Dubai under some other assumed name or some other shit like that. That's what happened. Like, we wouldn't have done that if we. It's just like the Russians burning Hitler's body. Like, that's the same bullshit. Like, why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? Like, you wouldn't know. Dude, if I was the Russian soldier that captured Hitler, I would have been like, no, we're taking this to Stalin straight away. No, like, you're not. What? I mean, people are dumb. I give you that. I don't know. Maybe I changed my mind right there, just real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Instead, they washed his body, wrapped it in a white sheet, and then placed it in a weighted bag.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
I don't even think they washed his body.
Yeah, it said traditional procedures for Islamic burial was followed.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
But why do we give a shit now? We give a shit about any kind of Islamic tradition for anything else. Like, oh yes, no, we're gonna make sure your body is properly taken. No, we're not. No. That was a good excuse. Oh, we buried him. We did some terrible shit. We just dumped somebody else's body at sea, claiming it was Osama bin Laden. Oh, this lines up. We can say it was because of religion. So yeah, no, I don't buy any of that. No, I mean, dude, that's really hard about being like I really like Bernie Sanders, and I'm really for like government programs and stuff like that. But then when the government does stuff like this, it makes me really question being able to support the government doing stuff. I really want to, it's hard, dude.
Well, we grew up.
Fucking rough. It's a rough spot to be in.
Yeah, I mean, all Americans grow up support the nation, right?
Of course.
We all hear
Absolutely.
JFK's. We all hear JFK's
yeah.
quote: "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." All that jazz.
Right. I can collect unemployment. Disability would be nice too, but
They make you fight for tooth and nails to get that shit.
No, what?
Disability.
Hey, I'd rather have my tax money go to those people than the top 1%.
Right. I'd rather provide people with housing and food and a decent living than giving rich people money they don't need.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, that's a revolutionary idea.
Well, here's the thing: is like people.
It really is, though. That's the sad part. I'm not kidding. I didn't mean that to be sarcastic. I'm sorry.
There are people who argue against socialism, and it's like, hey, we don't want to spread the money out to people who didn't earn it. It's like we're doing that now. We're just giving it to the rich people instead of the poor people.
Yeah, I don't understand them people.
Here's my thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Shirley. Go on.
I'm like, what is socialism? The boogeyman? There's other countries that had the same thing, but they don't call it socialism. Helping their people. It's the American way.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It was all they were just trying to scare people from the Soviet Union. It was all just they were an enemy, so we had to make what they thought bad. Even if it wasn't, we had to make it bad because it was their idea. It was their thing. Yeah, no, you're right.
And I have to tell you something else. Russia wanted the U.S. to keep giving them sanctions because their economy is doing very goddamn well. And Putin takes care of his people. Free health care.
Oh, they're not doing as good as you. They're not doing very good.
They don't know. I watched Peter Lavelle. Peter Lavelle from Crosstalk. He lives there. He's an American citizen, but but he said the sanctions they are doing very well with the interest rates up.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Well, people, I'm sure the people that have the money there.
The people are not suffering.
That's good.
Yeah.
See, that's what everyone think. Yeah, nobody. I mean, we could easily make life easy for most people on this earth. I'm not saying that's the whole thing. People are social. You don't want to work. No, I'm not saying obviously, Iban. I think you look like you're able to work. I think I'm probably able to work something. If you're able to do something, do it. Most people I think want to. That's my thing. Most people don't want to be total shitheads and fucking a drain on the on society.
A lot of them don't, but the job's not here. Thanks to Bill Clinton with that NAFTA, all our jobs are over there in China.
Well, you get beaten to eventually that's what happens because you get beaten to a position. Eventually, you get fucked over so many times. You're gonna eventually give up. I get it. Because
all it is minimum wage jobs.
Right, but we have low unemployment though.
You said we have low unemployment.
That's what they say.
Maybe we should not give $3.3 billion a year to Israel. Use that money to.
Yeah. They don't need it. They got free healthcare in one of the best Arabic teaching schools.
Bob.
You hate the Jews. Why do you hate the Jews, Iban?
I don't hate the Jews. I think the Jews
hate us. He don't hate the Jews. He hates the Zionists, Netanyahu, and his government.
Here's the thing about there's Jews that I like. There are Jews I would trust my kids to be to be
this conversation could take me like pieces of this can be taken so out of context.
I know.
Anyways,
I trust my kids to be looked after, right? And the thing is,
of course,
the Jews that are supposedly running everything,
right?
They are the racist ones. They have the racist superiority complex.
You call them the Zionists.
Well, they would have to be.
Yeah.
You call them the Zionists. They're not the Jews.
They think
they're not real
Jews.
To.
Yes.
They're not real Jews. They're the Zionists.
Well,
Netanyahu's government is the Zionist.
You can't deny their religion.
Well, he don't practice religion. Like somebody said, when Netanyahu is meeting with the Pope has a yarmulke on. Netanyahu doesn't. He doesn't wear one. They don't really believe in religion.
The Pope would never. What? Pope doesn't. No, the Pope. No. That's like the Pope's. The Pope always wears. That's not a yarmulke.
Well, it looks like one.
Yeah, it looks. Well, yeah, but it's not. It's not. I
mean, Christianity and
it's the same. They all have the same God.
Yeah.
All three. Yeah. Muslim, Christians, Jews.
I mean, the Jews came up with
all Abrahamic religions. They're all the same. They're all the fucking same. Don't let anyone tell you different. They all worship the same fucking God. And they're all dumb about it. So
Netanyahu is ramping it up on the Palestinians because he may lose his election.
Well, that's the whole. Well, we can criticize Israel because Netanyahu's government is just a crazy right wing.
Well, that's what you got to say. You got to say that Netanyahu's government. You can't say Jews.
You can't say the state of Israel, right? Yeah. I know.
Because they protested. I know. Because you got Arab Jews over there too, and Christians.
Jews.
Yeah.
I'm a Nazi.
You're not a Nazi.
No, I know I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But they would have called you anti-Semitic, and that's another thing. People be like, "Oh, I'm standing for Israel," and I'm like, "Okay." You got to learn the history.
Yeah, you got to be able to criticize. You have to have the ability to criticize a government and a country.
Yeah.
See, that's my problem with Israel in general, is because, like, man, I'm not down with, like, theocratic. Like, just because it's Israel shouldn't mean that everyone that has to live there is Jewish. You know? Like, I think non-Jewish people could probably live there too. But they don't seem to want that at the moment. So,
at one
I find that as a kind of a problem, because they like to put the non-Jewish people in, like, basically open-air prisons. So, you know.
But yeah, I'm gonna tell you what.
I mean, I don't know how anyone can look at this and not, like, see that this is so fucked up. Like, I mean.
But what Netanyahu government is doing, he's doing things to other Jews to turn them into like them. He's trying to do. He's shutting down newspapers, liberal newspapers that talk about what they're doing.
Yeah, well, he's going to use religion as a tool. That's why religion exists in the first place, basically. So,
you heretic.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I apologize. I didn't mean any of that.
What other names can I call?
I don't even know how to do that. I did
it's
it
top,
wrong.
down, left, right. Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe Netanyahu was born up here in Pennsylvania, in Cheltenham.
Really?
Yeah. Because a lot of them out there that's doing this crazy stuff they're doing against the Palestinians from America.
Oh, yeah. Well, look. Saudi Arabians attacked us on 9/11, and we still support them, and we are supporting their war in Yemen. I said it.
And
there you
go. Israel is too.
Yeah, same deal. They're part of it.
Yeah. Yep. And that's strange. Why is Israel supporting?
Okay. Of all the, it was like, there was 19, hijackers, right?
And Britain gave them the passports.
14 of them were Saudi Arabian, right?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What else? I mean, I don't. What else information do you need? Like, I don't. Like everybody else, it's.
That was a lie. I don't think it was Saudi Arabia on them planes either.
All right, so yeah, it's 15 out of 19 were citizens of Saudi Arabia.
15. Okay. And
2 were from the United Arab Emirates, and 1 was from Lebanon, and 1 was from Egypt. None were from Iraq. None were from Afghanistan.
from Afghanistan, right? Yeah, that's right. Exactly. We should invade Egypt now. Why not?
Well, that was in the plans, right? Remember
that was the thing with. Oh, dude, do you have that video of Wesley Clark?
General Wesley
like,
Clark.
They want to go. Yeah, they want to go like.
Yeah, that was on Amy Goodman. I can't play it because Amy Goodman's.
Oh,
Democracy Now! blocked.
Damn it, assholes! Yeah, fucking.
But he Wesley Clark.
Well, yeah, he was like they want to go to Iraq and then like Afghanistan. He like listed all the countries, Yemen, and like it was like all the fucking countries we're going at right now, except for Iran. Like that's the only. It was. I mean, how can you? I don't understand how does anyone not see what's going on here? Like, obviously you do, Shirley.
Yeah,
you do.
Hell yeah.
Yvonne does. But,
so the memo listed 7 countries in 5 years to be taken out: Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finally Iran.
Right.
And Obama was in all 7 of them, right?
He was
in 7.
Well, he was because he was part of. They just continued on doing the shit that they wanted to do when he became president. Basically,
Bush couldn't do it because he was getting flack for his flaws for Iraq war. Because but Bush would have done it.
They were too. I think they were too busy like raking in the money from Iraq and Afghanistan. Like, I mean, honestly, like. All Cheney cared about was getting Halliburton contracts. Like, that was probably, like, why he was vice president.
And he's still getting money.
Well, his kids are.
And that's
Is he dead yet?
No, hell no, he ain't dead. That motherfucker don't die.
What the fuck?
They call him Darth Vader.
I thought Mitch McConnell was Darth Vader.
No, it was Cheney. It was Cheney called Darth Vader.
One of us probably... I'd call him more Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, I can't believe Cheney's not dead. That's amazing.
He done went through a couple of different heart surgery. I'm like, this motherfucker just won't die.
He's had like a heart transplant. He has someone. I think he has someone else's heart.
Does he even have a heart? I don't think he has a heart.
Probably not. No. He has the heart of. He probably has a pig's heart or something like that. Keeping him alive.
But it's funny when certain people die, people cheer. Right? Like George H.W. Bush. People were
Koch
like,
brother,
yes!
dude. The Koch brothers just died.
Oh yeah, Koch brothers. Like, yes! They're dying. I mean,
yeah.
It's like weird how people cheer because they know how bad they are. They just won't go out there and kill them on their own, even though they know that they're like.
But you don't have to be sad that they died. I mean,
hell no.
Whatever. I don't know if it was what. I don't know what.
I would have said when George W. died. When he was I don't know where I was at when JFK was killed.
Not George W.
Yeah.
HW died.
HW, yeah.
HW. Yeah, he was like 1,000 years old. I mean, the Japanese didn't get him the first time, but yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh boy!
Damn it! This is not going to make you any money if this is.
What else is new, Bob? What else is new? People are throwing money out there for my content. I'd have to be.
I'll send you a free lure. Yeah.
Hey, I do that, man. I would love to just have people send me lures, and I'll use the lures to fish and see how good it does.
That's an excellent idea.
I mean, people do that all the time. Well, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'll get you started. I got so much. I have a sickness, so
Don't worry, I know a lot of fishermen who have that same sickness.
Yeah.
They're
it's
always
really bad.
They're always.
My wife's really mad at me about it.
Yeah, one guy was
So.
texting me all the time. It's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Cabela's. You want to come?" I'm like, "Dude, you've got
No.
like tons of fishing gear. I'm okay."
Dude, that's my problem. Like, if I don't look at it, I'm fine. But then, like, oh, I got an email from Bass Pro Shop. I'll take a look. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I'll go in. I'm driving by. I'll stop in. Yeah, then I spend like $200.
But here's the thing: is like, after fishing for such a long time, I don't need good equipment.
I have found myself, to be honest, I have found that to be the case lately. Like, I have gone in and been like, I actually don't need stuff. Like, I've been cutting down lately, and it feels good. Feels good. I still buy too much shit though.
Yeah.
But it's not even that. Then I go and I buy beef jerky, or it's like, God damn it, they got me for something.
Yeah.
You gotta buy some like new waders, a reel. I just broke my rod, so I gotta get a new rod, and then I buy two for some reason.
I think I've got like bamboo plants. I think I'm gonna start making bamboo rods.
Let's do that. Yes, dude. I wanted a bamboo fly rod, like a very like lightweight bamboo fly rod. I think that, dude. Do you know how to make anything, or have you ever done anything like that, or no? We can learn together.
Yeah. I mean, I used to make bows and arrows when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah. Just
like legit, like usable.
Well, yeah, they'd be usable. I'd be able to shoot arrows pretty accurately with them and stuff. So
really,
there was like at the library how to make Native American bows. The only thing I didn't have was sinew. So
sure, animal sinew.
Yeah,
you weren't. You had to have a cat around or something. What's wrong?
Yeah, I didn't have a cat. I mean, I didn't make the string out of all that stuff either. Basically, during the preparation process of making the bow, you want to before the heating process, you want to coat it with the sinew so it keeps the flexibility and keeps it dry, I guess. That was one part of it. But you just work on the stave, and then you add in the sinew stuff, and then you heat treat it, and then it's pretty much ready to go. It's pretty easy, really.
So you're like melting in the like animal fat into the like porousness of the
wood, yeah.
Bamboo. Oh wow.
Well, I wasn't using bamboo. It was just different.
Well, whatever wood. Yeah, wood. Yeah, any wood, right.
So that was fun as a kid. Oh, and Kathy B says she's got a handmade bow. Handmade bows are fun to make because it's just like it's so easy, and you just it's fun to play around with. It's like, oh my goodness, I could kill stuff with this thing, and all I used was a knife and wood.
Dude, my daughter made a slingshot like out of a slingshot like with rubber bands.
Yeah,
and she shot a rock. And it like bounced off the tree, and she was like, "Oh wow, this could really hurt something." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." That's amazing that you can. Yeah, no, that realization, right? That you just made something that could seriously. See, like I don't understand how people can have guns and not be like, "Oh, it's like a toy," like like this is. look what we're talking. I'm talking about a fucking slingshot. You know, like I love guns though. Don't get me wrong, Ebon. I love fucking guns. Everyone should have a gun, but like it should be a responsible fucking thing.
Yeah,
It
I
should,
mean, look, we've got at least a third of the Americans having a gun. They're not all
right.
shooting each other.
Obviously not. No, we're not. It's not, dude. Wasn't that a movie? Wasn't? God damn it, man. There was like some movie that was like a spoof on westerns, where it was just like it was like old West town, and everyone was just like walking around shooting each other. Like it was like a total like
Like Westworld.
No. It was a total satire. It was like supposed to be funny. Everybody's just because it was the whole thing that everybody back in the West had guns, so everybody's just walking around, hey partner, and they just shoot the person, like and then it just go on with walking down the street, and it was maybe it was Monty Python. I don't know. It was something like Monty Python. It wasn't Monty Python, but it was something along those lines. But yeah, no, it was just making fun of the fact that that even that shit, as much as we romanticize the Wild West, it wasn't like what we say it was, as much as we think we'd like it to be that way. So
yeah, I mean, I would say most of the time, a lot of people probably got shot in the back. Because look, you don't want to take the chance of having a standoff, right? Because
you got shot from under a table or something like that. Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like, dude, you remember like even watching like, man, it was like Wyatt Earp or Tombstone. Like, whenever they went into towns, man, they had to give up their guns to the sheriff of town.
Yeah, it
wasn't just like
on the town. Yeah.
Well, right, but but most places it wasn't just like a free for all. Even back then, which I mean, obviously, if you're in the middle of nowhere, yeah. But if you were like, dude, if you were like Chicago or St. Louis or New York, god damn, it wasn't like that shit. And why do we romanticize guns to be like that for some reason? But again, everybody should have one. Not advocating against them. Just responsible ownership.
Oh, well, but even if you have responsible ownership, it goes by another race. They really don't want them to have them. And it's sad.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like Shirley's son shouldn't have a gun. That's for sure. I'm just kidding, Shirley. His Shirley's son got taken to jail because he had a gun on him, even though he
was licensed to carry and had his permit with him.
Yeah.
But he had other stuff in the car too. He shouldn't have had.
Oh yeah.
But
but
they wanted to get him on that gun, and before they took him, they called somebody higher up and was like, "We want to charge him with this gun." They was like, "No, you can't charge him. He's licensed to carry."
Right. Yeah. Just like my friend in Oklahoma, like he's white, but he had he could carry, but he had an open pint of whiskey with him, but nobody gave a shit about that. But he was white, so
Yeah, and then he went for a hearing to get his gun license back. They turned him down. I'm like, what the fuck? The cop was on the stand talking about some. I don't remember. Because he was parked when they came up on him with guns drawn.
Mm.
I'm
That's
like,
so fucked up, man. I don't even.
Yeah. And how about Philando? How about Philando? My son thought about Philando because still at the time, the one guy put the gun in the car into his side. He said, "Mom, I thought I was shot." He said, "I thought I was shot," because he was going to his friend's house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that shit.
That is.
I've never.
It's scary.
Obviously, I mean, look at me.
No.
Honestly, the cops are kind of not that they're scared of me, but they don't like to fuck with me. They look like, I mean, that's white privilege, man. That's some privilege right there.
Yeah.
I mouthed off to him. No, I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. Fuck them. Fucking
And a lot
assholes.
of white people don't feel that way. They be like, oh, they should have did this. And even some blacks, oh,
Yeah,
they
you
should
should
have
have
did this
obeyed.
and
You
they
should have
should have did
complied,
that.
right? No.
Well, he did.
No,
He
yeah.
was sitting in his car parked on his
Right.
way going
That's
to
the whole
his
problem.
house.
That's what the whole thing with that is like, yeah, you should have complied. You should have done the right thing. Even if you do, you still get shot. So what the fuck? Who cares?
And yeah,
That
and like
doesn't matter.
Philando Castile,
Mm-hmm.
he told the officer, hey, I have a gun,
Yeah,
I
I
have
have
a
a gun.
license. And he
Right,
said, well, go get it.
but
And
you
he
should have
go
shot
try
it.
to reach it.
Right.
And he
I'm gonna
shot and
shoot you
killed him.
anyways. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
That was great that you told me, and I'll gladly shoot you anyways.
Mm.
It's so fucked up. Yeah, I can't. I don't even. God damn.
Do you think?
I mean, right?
So, I mean, after what we've learned from 9/11 and
Sure.
the things that were taken away,
Yeah, the spill.
yep,
All our wonderful rights that were stripped from us. Yeah.
yep. Do you think it's like people like another thing that people aren't really allowed to talk about? I mean, you'll get big backlash. Is that these mass shootings are potential psyops to take away
they
gun rights?
are. A lot of them are, especially that one in El Paso. Because Lee Strahan, he did a video about that. And I'm like, man, he's making some kind of sense. Because
Wasn't there like weird like coincidences between the timing of? God, something happened, and then
Let
it's
Shirley,
the Epstein stuff.
Let Shirley finish up.
Just Jeffrey Epstein stuff.
Yeah, let Shirley finish up what.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lee
I'm sorry,
Stranahan was
Shirley.
saying.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
sorry.
Shirley.
Yeah, because Lee Strahan on his YouTube page, he did a story about that. He said, yeah, because he said Bannon, because he used to work at Breitbart. And when Breitbart died, it started changing because Bannon took over. And Breitbart just wanted to get the truth about the news. So he left. And he said Bannon is a bad guy. Bannon was down there like a week before in El Paso. He don't know what he was doing. And Candace Owens was down there. Then all of a sudden that mass shooting happened. He may have been involved with it. That's what he was saying. He said Bannon is a bad dude.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that he's bad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about politicians who will talk about 9/11 as not being correct as far as the official narrative. The only one I could think of is that the former congressman from Georgia. I know you know her name, Shirley. I'm forgetting her name right now.
From Georgia?
I think
Shirley Abrams? No,
No.
that she ran for governor.
I know someone knows her name. But she
Former
talks.
governor from Georgia.
She's the only person that
I
is in
think
government that
Cynthia McKinney.
McKinney.
Oh, yeah, that's my girl right there.
Yeah.
They gave her hell.
Yeah, I think she's the only one that I can recall that will like
Yep.
talk about 9/11 as having some issues with the official narrative.
Yep. She's
I just don't like. I don't doubt there's other politicians that don't think the same way. It's just not politically expedient to, like, by them saying it, it won't help them. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, and as
Nope,
shitty as that is, like,
but the CIA has their data on their computers, so they know about their family.
well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but you can't. But like all the like normal politicians don't know that shit. So I mean, even if they do know it, they don't know it. You know. So I can't. I get it. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand. It's just like Man, just like the Joe Rogan with Bernie Sanders. Like if Bernie Sanders actually like said there were aliens at fucking Area 51, dude, he would be so dead. Like they killed JFK and Bobby Kennedy. Like you don't think they could get Bernie Sanders? I mean, come on. You know, it's if there's stuff the government doesn't want everyone to know. I mean, we're not going to know it. That's just the way it's going to be. I mean, there'll be some people that know it, and we'll kind of know it. We'll have like conspiracy theories about like we'll all like like we know what we know. All of us know right now. Like we know. I'm not going to say what we know, but we all know what we know. All this shit we're talking about right now, even like, but you're not going to be able to like prove it in any like, you're not going to go out on TV and be able to like say, hey, look at this. Like, obviously this is this way. Like, if you're not stupid, you can see that these things all line up, but then there'll always be some, they'll fuck you over somehow. They always do.
Here's Cynthia McKinney's tweet last year on 9/11. She goes, 17 years later, a new world order is collapsing under the weight of its cornerstone lie. I'm proud to have begun my work on day one to make it all fall down, crumbled, and corroded all over the ground.
Wow.
I mean...
Yeah, because she left the country at one time because she feared for her life.
Yeah. Is she dead yet?
No, she's alive.
She's still alive? Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. See, that's so fucked up. That like the fact that like not that what she said was amazing, but the fact that I can't believe she's still alive after saying something like that is amazing.
As long as she doesn't say bad stuff to Hillary Clinton.
She had left the country.
Right, yeah, as long as she's in right.
As long as she doesn't say something bad about the Clintons.
Initiative. Right.
Yeah.
Like say something bad about the Clintons and she's not gonna live for very long.
Anyone want Jeffrey Epstein? Anyone? Nothing? No. That shit's fucked up too.
I heard about that name a long time ago. And everybody's
he's
surprised now.
He's just another little piece of the puzzle. Like it's just nobody's gonna commit suicide, dude. I don't care like what happened. Like they say, that whole thing is totally fucked. That whole situation.
He was murdered, and somebody said they think it was the Israelis because they have spies here, like at least 187.
Well, the guard fell asleep, and then amazingly enough, that like that period of time when the guard was sleeping, he killed himself somehow because he knew the guard was asleep. No, like he didn't have. That's just no.
And the camera wasn't working.
I'd say they. In my opinion, my guess. I have no way of knowing. I'd say he's still alive. They faked his death, so.
Well, did you see the video?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, either they offed him completely, like either they did it or they got him out of there. And I think getting him out of there was probably what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to remember the guy's name
because he has so much dirt on so many powerful people. None of it came out after he died, committed suicide. Nope. It's like I would say, hey, if I somehow die, release everything, But
dude, they have total access to all his property now without any. He had no family, so they have complete access to all his shit, and we haven't heard anything now. Nothing after all this.
Yeah.
Last I heard, I think Mexico
what happened?
said. Last I heard, Mexico said it was going to confiscate his property you have out there.
Yeah, so they can protect it. So they can, well, see, that's the whole thing. That way they can have litigation. See, the whole thing with like people that were like actually trying to get him were like, okay, now there's nobody to fight. Well, yeah, now there is somebody to fight. Like you said, now Mexico is going to try and protect that because probably the Mexican government has some kind of ties to. There's somebody in the government that's ties to somebody that knows Epstein, that this information will hurt them. So the government of Mexico is going to try and protect It's just it's gonna be a whole
Well, if the thing is, I mean, sorry, go ahead, Shirley.
He was involved with everybody, the music industry, the government, and Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah. And like Oprah opened up a school in Africa. Why you open up in Chicago? You know how Chicago is. You had your show out there for decades, and she had that rape thing going on at the school. She's with Epstein's too. I saw pictures of her. With her.
Oh yeah, I live near Chicago, dude. I'm not a big fan. Like she had her whole thing. She had her studios here too, and she just closed all those on the south side, and so now it's like all that property that she had there is like a wasteland. So it's not helping the south side of Chicago one bit.
No, it's about the kids, the black kids out there. They just want sneakers. Come on now, them kids want an education.
Well, when she was making money off of them, it was okay.
Yeah. And then when Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan did that video out there, the black kids, of course, come and said, "Can we come in and see it?" They told them no.
Yeah, right. So funny.
She does her own people wrong. I'm glad that comedian
Shirley says it, not
calling
me.
her out.
That's Shirley talking.
Yeah, she.
I got no place to say anything.
That comedian called her out, Monique. They were like, why Monique going crazy talking about Oprah? Tell me all of them. Y'all forgot about the people that's coming behind you.
Indeed.
Good
one. Good talk here.
Yeah, control of Epstein's blackmail is going to be a big one. I mean, who if the U.S. gets it, I mean that's leverage over other leaders of every country, which of course the U.S. would want. And
well, that's why I'm saying like the Mexican government's doing what they're doing, because like I think all these countries are trying, like I think people in all these countries are fucked, man. Like I think there's fingers in all this stuff that we don't know about.
A country's going to do what they can, get their stuff out there. That way they have leverage against other people and governments.
Right.
And like all of a sudden, if we see like the U.S. giving like $25 billion a year to the Mexican government, then we're like, okay, I bet they got control of Epstein's Island.
Right.
And who has
it's just interesting that they're so adamant about taking control of it so quickly.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a gold mine. It's a gold rush.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of good information there, probably.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
I mean, you got
a lot of money.
Stuff on like all the politicians all over the world. It's like
pretty much
even
like
a prince,
state of like everywhere.
Yeah.
Even a Prince Andrew.
Oh, I mean, yeah, well, the royal family. Oh, Jesus, don't get me started with those people.
I'd say it's a good way to secure legacy if you're in power in any country. You know, it's like, hey, we don't
protect it. Yeah. They gotta.
But you need allies.
Minimize the damage.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of them are just trying to they just don't want the information to get out.
Well, that too. I mean, like, if Mexico wants it and wants to be protected, they're gonna need allies. They're gonna need like South American countries, maybe a few European countries, African countries, Asian countries, and then now all those countries have leverage against all the politicians in like the U.S. and.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt that. There's a bunch of information there that is very incriminating to a bunch of politicians in our country. I'm not, That's what I would do. I would totally fucking seize that shit.
Yeah.
Right away. Army shit, send in the National Guard, man. Fucking take that.
I'd be like, hey, give me all this money or I'm going to release the info. And if you don't, I'm going to release the info anyway. And then they give me the money and I'm going to release the info.
Yep.
No, I'm going to have someone else release the info. It's like, I didn't release it. Someone else did.
I just gave it to somebody else. Yeah. I don't know what they did whatever they wanted. It's not my problem.
It'd be like Trump. It's like, Someone's saying you're a douchebag. I'm not saying you're a douchebag, but people are saying you're a douchebag.
People are saying, right? There's word that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Absolutely. Take the money and then release the information anyways. Fuck yeah.
Okay, well, first I want to record the ones that gave me money. That way,
Right.
people can see, hey, this person gave me this money.
Yeah, these people are fucking. You're right.
And then you got double the evidence.
Well, it's you can kind of like forgive the people that were like, okay, we fucked up, release it, fuck it, I'll admit to it. I got to give them some credit for just being like, okay,
yeah.
I mean,
Well, Alan Dershowitz said he still had his pants up.
Oh my God, he is just.
But can you imagine how that would?
Is he still relevant? Alan fucking Dershowitz, really? I totally agree. I don't know why he's even on TV anymore.
I know they still let him on.
Well,
and he said, and he filed a lawsuit against this victim and defamed her.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, he's a piece of shit.
I always like it.
Semitic now. Shit.
I always like it when they have failed politicians, like politicians that can't get reelected. They become like political experts on the mainstream media shows. It's like, dude, they're failed politicians. How are they experts?
Claire McCaskill. She lost Missouri, and now she's on CNN telling all the Democrats how they can win conservative states, even though she lost. Right.
I always think that's funny.
Like, what? That must be nice to just be able to like get that kind of handout from a fucking corporation like that,
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish I could get a job like that. Fuck. How would that be? All you gotta say, you just talk a bunch of bullshit and not make any sense, and they just pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Wow, must be rough.
I could do
that. I could do that half drunk. I could do that fully drunk. I can do that right now. Sorry, Shirley. I'm totally interrupting you.
It's like Bob. It's like Bob going to a fishing contest, losing, and then he comes on my show and saying how people should be fishing.
How good I did. Yes, yes. You did. How you did wrong, Yvonne. Even though you beat me, you did. You totally used the wrong bait, fishing at the wrong level, fully in the wrong area.
I'll tell you one thing.
Wrong rod, wrong line, wrong fucking everything.
Let's Shirley go.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Shirley.
I'm sorry, Shirley.
Bolton's going to be a paid contributor on Fox News. Watch.
I wouldn't be surprised. He'd be like, expert on foreign relations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Unfucking real.
Yeah.
It's a good old boys club shit.
It's just sick to see the news.
Mm-hmm.
It's all cyclical. Like, if you've been in the system, you're gonna get picked up by it again and then re-rotated through it. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I think the like the punditry is probably like the bottom level for those people. I'm sure she doesn't. I'm sure she doesn't want to be a contributor on CNN, but she'll take the money. McCaskill. It's easy. Are we winding it down here?
I think it might be. And thing is, when they become a pundit, when they get more exposure, so they can run again. It's like that's what they would want.
Yeah, right. They're on TV now, so now they have some kind of small base that they can draw off of to say, "Hey, look, you're totally right. You're totally fucking right, Ivan. Always on point."
Well, I know one thing, them black folks in Minnesota can't stand McCaskill. That's why she lost.
Yeah.
Because they know they need us to get in office.
It's getting late.
That's late. We've gone on for like 8 hours before, but yeah, I can't do those things anymore. You don't remember those days? Shirley remembers those days.
Yeah, I remember.
I was around for like 4. I mean, maybe I've done for like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause my
Man,
husband be like,
at
"You
8,
coming
I
at
don't know about
5 in the
that.
morning?"
Yeah,
I'm
we'd
like,
have people falling asleep. Like I would go and take a nap because I was so tired. I didn't want to stop the conversation, and then
Yeah, one eye open.
I'd wake up and everyone was gone. I'd be like, okay, shut down.
It's just like everything stops. Uh, oh boy.
But
I would try. I want to keep. Man, it's a 9/11 marathon. We could keep going. I feel like Harry Carey coming on. Like, that's got the like. I don't know. That was weird. Anyways, go on. I'm sorry.
I'd say let's wind it down. It has been over. It's been 2 hours 7 minutes. Any last words from you guys? Shirley, Bob, anyone in chat?
Shirley, go first.
well, all I know, that one man at that news conference today, where his son had died in them towers, he said, somebody asked him a question. He said, Mueller and Barr are nothing but cover-ups for stuff, and along with the Iran Contra scam, also.
Oh.
So he said they are not credible.
Was that the guy that did he dump on Ilhan Omar too? Is that the same dude or no? Because I heard about that.
Oh,
Like there was some guy at like the 9/11 thing in New York that like shit on Ilhan Omar's. Remember she said like some people did some things comment about 9/11. Like and she wasn't trying to be like callous about it, but she was just like saying that like, hey, just because some people did something, you shouldn't like crap on all Muslims. And they totally took it out of context, or they were really shitty about it. But yeah,
I
some
don't
like
know.
one.
I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, there was some guy at. It was I think it was. I don't. We can. This will get into
Well,
a.
all I know,
We could
the
go on with
father
this for a
said it
long
was
time,
the
and I don't want to do
Muslims.
that
All I know, the guy said
for
it was
everyone's
the
sake.
Muslims. Muslims didn't do that at 9/11, and we went into another country killing
Well,
millions of
even
Muslims for no
it
reason.
doesn't. I really don't give a shit what religion anyone is who did anything. Like if
No, but that the U.S. did. The U.S. did that.
well, yeah, I'm not. We call. Wait, was that? You just say that like we caused 9/11? U.S.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay,
And along with other people.
I agree. I agree. Actually, like we
Shit.
brought that shit on ourselves. We did. It couldn't
Yeah.
have happened if we didn't. If we weren't stupid, right?
No, they were greedy. It's all greed. It's a
Well, that
damn
was the thing.
shame.
Like, have you heard about the shit? Like with like they wanted to redevelop that area, and like
Yeah,
nobody would
they
let
wanted
them
to
like.
take down them towers.
Yeah, they did. They did, and nobody. They said no, and then they were like, okay. And then all of a sudden 9/11 happened, and
Yeah,
yeah, that was yeah, right. I mean,
that's what I was trying to say earlier. They wanted to rebuild that trade
yeah,
center,
they
that
did.
Silverstein.
Oh God, that's so fucked up.
They murdered Americans and foreign nationalists, and it's a shame.
See, that's why, like, if
I
you
don't
like,
know how people go
I
back
mean,
there and visit on 9/11.
you look at some of like the videos on it, and they're like, there were like people like unknown people like working in the towers like days before this happened, and like nobody knew what they were fucking doing in there.
Yeah, they were doing
Like,
some.
and it's like, well, okay, that's kind of fucked up, but and they're just like, we don't know what there was work crews working in the basements. Okay, like what?
What are your thoughts about Mark Wahlberg and Seth MacFarlane? They were supposed to be on a flight, but they overslept.
Right, they missed the flights that they weren't on the. They booked flights for those airplanes that crashed into the World Trade Center, but yet they weren't on them.
Yeah, they
They somehow
overslept.
mysteriously right. They right. Oh yeah, I overslept. Sure, me too. Right.
Well, the
Dude, that's
CIA,
Yeah, no, you're right. Sure, yeah, CIA.
Yeah, the
I don't doubt that
CIA
there's somebody
uses Hollywood.
I
Yep.
don't know if they were like, to be honest, like, not that they're like, I don't doubt that there's someone who's like, if you get on that plane, we're gonna fucking kill you. You know, like just to protect them, like because they knew. I don't know. That's fucked up. Like, would you like if you got a phone call that said like, don't get on that plane? Like, would you be like, oh, okay, all right, Fred. Yeah, it's my buddy from fucking high school trying to fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, no, dude, if you're Seth MacFarlane, like, dude, you're a comedian. Like, you don't think that shit happens to you, like, every time you get on an airplane? You don't think that, like, Jeff Ross, the dude from fucking, that does the roasts, isn't calling you every day, seeing how shitty you are, being like, hey, you better not get on that plane, man. Like, just because they're fucking comedians and fucked up like that. Like, man, like how, dude, like I don't buy, like everybody else, like any other person but Seth MacFarlane, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. Seth MacFarlane is just an inch too far for me because he wouldn't buy that shit. He'd just be like, you fucking bastards. What the fuck? But right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at this. This is totally pragmatic from my point of view right here. This is just me looking at life from experience and knowing, like, dude, I've seen Seth MacFarlane on roasts. I've watched fucking Family Guy, fucking all the shit he's fucking produced. Like, I know this. Like, I know him. Like, I know what, like, his friends would do to him. Like, how far they would go to pull a joke. And I'm not putting it past them to say, hey, I'm going to fucking take down a plane that you're fucking riding on. Like, I can see them saying that shit to him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So he
it's
had
like, hey, I'm
something.
sending you over some Muslim terrorists with box cutters, and you better not get on that plane.
Right. And he'd be like, sure thing, buddy. Right. No. See, that's right. That's, dude. So he had, like, if that's the truth, like, somebody had to, like, been like, hey, listen. You know, this is we're beyond the pale here. You know, like, this is not your norm. I'm not Jeff Ross fucking with you. This is not fucking, a roast on Comedy Central. You know, like, so. Yeah,
seriously.
That's how I.
Muslim terrorists, box cutters, don't get on that plane. This is one time. It's not a joke.
Okay. Right. All right, guy. Yeah, that's what he'd do. No, he'd get on that fucking plane. Right. No, this was something, like, if he didn't get on that plane, there was somebody that was like, listen, this is my CIA credentials. Do not get on flight 732 or whatever the fuck it was, flight 911.
Yeah. Or Mark Wahlberg is like, hey, Mark, Mark, we're gonna have, there's gonna be four Muslim terrorists with box cutters on that plane. You better not get on it. It's like Mark Wahlberg's like, dude, I can handle four Muslim terrorists with box cutters.
That's right. I can handle 8.
Yeah,
it's like 12.
I'm getting on that plane. I want to become a hero. They go, no. These aren't These aren't your run of the mill Muslim terrorist box cutters. These are professionals. And Mark Wahlberg's going, okay, I'll sleep in. Oh boy, okay. Enough of the ridiculousness. Thanks for coming on, Bob, Shirley, and everyone that's on chat. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next year on the same topic.
Oh yeah, they keep doing that every year.
Yeah. All right. Good night. Thanks.
Good night.